Are the Fever better without her? This has been a miserable year for the WNBA. People are awful quiet now, and they've been quiet for a minute. Two of the other stars who people want to say are better now than Clark, more interesting now than Clark, bigger draws now than Clark. WNBA playoffs are about to be in for a rude awakening if Clark is not on the screen. There's a lot of things I don't really care about, but we're still reeling, are we not, from the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift? Oh, the engagement. Some professor at some school I know had to say, I can't concentrate today. It's too much. It's too much. Travis, here's something. Go with Kelce Swift and sell yourself a bunch of jerseys. We're going to revisit some stuff. Caitlin Clark, are the Fever better without her? We've got the answer. Zinno's going to join us to give you some betting tips. Armando with some insight into the NFL as we continue to march towards one of the greatest football weekends ever, and it starts tomorrow. Don't at me. It starts now. Let's go. You know, we are unlike other media outlets. We are guys and gals in media. Well, they say stupid things, and nobody goes back to check them. Nobody ever goes back and looks to see, hey, who'd that idiot Dan Wolken have to start the season? What did his predictions look like as he criticizes others? And it's the same thing with every media member. It doesn't have to be Wolken. It can be your local paper. It can be national. What is the percentage of right from wrong with these media folks? Because nobody ever goes back. They actually tell you that at ESPN. Make predictions. When you're right, people tell you you're a genius. When you're wrong, nobody really pays attention. Well, we do here at Don't At Me. And by the way, this show is presented to you by Prize Picks, and we like Prize Picks. I'll get into that in a moment. However, Caitlin Clark, it was all the rage, was it not? It was all the rage that the Indiana Fever were better without Caitlin Clark. Now, I'm betting this is the last time we talk about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. But we will do that. Let's make one thing clear. The idea that the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark is one of the laziest, most embarrassing takes in recent sport memory. It is. I'm sorry. There was a time specifically when the Fever won 5 games in a row late January. They ain't playing in January. They ain't getting that NBA money through early August. Some people claim the team was better with Clark on the sideline. The team ruled out Clark for last night's game against Seattle, marking her 16th consecutive missed start. She also missed several games early in the year, and she's only played in 13 of the 38 games. Now, I'm no math major, but if you make that 39, that would be she's played in 1/3 of the game. See what I did there? Uchikapesta, my eyes are burning. Let's flash back, shall we? Let's flash back to Carolyn Peck, the biggin, who won a national championship at Purdue. She don't like Caitlin Clark, I guess. I don't know. She made this absurd statement back on the 6th of July.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons.
All right, well, we appreciate somebody having an opinion like that, Carolyn Peck. Well, with Clark in the 13 games, they're 8-5. Without Clark, they're 12-13. Now let me say that again: 8-5, 12-13 without her. Winning record one side, losing record the other side. So people are awful quiet now, and they've been quiet for a minute. Since that win streak, the Fever are 3-6 in their last 9. That ain't great. 2 of the wins came against the worst teams in the league, the Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun. Let's understand that. That's 2 of the 3. 2 teams tied for the worst record in the WNBA. Oh, by the way, it isn't like Angel Reese has really elevated the Chicago Sky. Yes, I know she's hurt. And I promise this is the last time we talk about the WNBA. They're both tied with Dallas, who beat Indiana at Indiana earlier this month in a game that I actually won money on because the Fever were 6-point underdogs going into the second half. I took them. They lost by 1. It's pretty simple. This is what we do here. We give you honest evaluation. Not only has the highlighted bad stretch shown the importance of Caitlin Clark to the Fever, but the team is suddenly in danger of missing the playoffs. It can't be overstated how disastrous this would be for the WNBA. People are trying, they're really trying to say that this year has been great for the WNBA because ratings are still okay. They're down 53%, but that's okay. That's higher than they were prior to Caitlin Clark. But this was supposed to be an explosion year. This was supposed to be the year the two stars, Clark and Reese, really took this league to the next level. The ladies of the WNBA are not willing yet to sign a CBA that would guarantee them a lot more cash than they're making right now. All right, ratings are holding steady with Clark on the sidelines, but there has been no buzz. No buzz. If the Fever miss the playoffs, the league is highly unlikely to replicate last year's incredible postseason ratings with Clark involved. Football is starting. We got a 5-day stretch starting Thursday through Monday where football is going to be incredible, whether it's Boise State, a top 25 team, playing on a Thursday night, Notre Dame playing on a Sunday night. Are you kidding me? It's going to be magical. It's worth noting that Angel Reese and Paige Beckers, two of the other stars who people want to say are better now than Clark, more interesting now than Clark, bigger draws now than Clark, will not be playing also in the postseason. Why? Their teams stink. Their teams are garbage. They've already been eliminated. They're done. They're out. They're gone. WNBA playoffs are about to be in for a rude awakening if Clark is not on the screen. Now, why do I say all this? Well, it's kind of like a postmortem. It's kind of like, all right, we're now into football. Let's wrap it up with where the WNBA is. See, it's not about holding steady without Clark. It's about not growing, and that's a problem. Again, Angel Reese has really helped the league grow. You can argue who's better. I don't even care about all that. But without Clark, yesterday on my radio show here in Indy, my producer, the great Jonathan Smith, said, "Hey, Dan, it's the last time we talked about the Fever." Now, you got to remember earlier and all of last year, boy, oh boy, we did features on the Fever. We did every week an interview with Lynn Dunn, the vice president of the Fever. We talked about him constantly, not once in a while. Now we're doing kind of a postmortem. We'll be back to talking about the WNBA. We will, as long as Clark makes the playoffs, because it'll be interesting. We want to talk about what interests you. All right, I will say this, though. I will say, luckily for Fever fans, Sophie Cunningham is keeping all of us entertained by shaking her ass. No, she is. There it is. There's her ass. Raise your hand if you haven't seen Sophie Cunningham's ass. It's a nice ass. She wants you to look at her ass. So good. She's keeping us all entertained. Sophie Cunningham actually came under some backlash. She got a torn ACL, and she's gyrating. She's twerking like a girl on Oprah's couch. Like, I don't know. Sophie, you want us to look at your ass? I'm staring right at it, baby. It's a good ass. And she says, back when my knee was healthy. Well, I don't think anybody's looking at your knee, Sophie. They're looking at that string that's going right up your ass. You asked for it, you got it. So, in totality, or to wrap this whole thing up, this has been a miserable year for the WNBA. And it is all about one woman, and that woman is Caitlin Clark. Now, if, and that's a big if she can get in the playoffs, if it can be a big run, ESPN is going to be all over it. They love them some Caitlin Clark. but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So rest in peace to the WNBA. I hope it works out for you. I'm rooting for you. I love Angel Reese. I do. I think she's exactly what that league needs. I love Caitlin Clark. I do. I think she's exactly what that league needs. But I got to tell you, Dakich out when it comes to the WNBA. Hey, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. It's really simple. Preseason football is done. We're getting into a great, not good, a great 5 days of football starting tomorrow, and all you got to do is not miss any of the action with Prize Picks. It's very simple. Prize Picks is very simple. Pick more or less on a 2 to 6 player stat projection. Cam Ward over 120 yards. Whatever it is, I'll have some picks tomorrow. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks, perfect way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your real money, your sports opinions, into that real money on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code Dakich, DAKICH, to get $50 in lineups, and when you play your first $5 lineup. You get $50 in lineups when you play a $5 lineup. It's simple. They want to give you money. Yeah. That's code Dakich, DAKICH, to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. There you go. Prize Picks. Run your game, and it is your game. Mark Jones, not Mark Jackson. I love Mark Jackson. Woke Gasbag of ESPN and head racist is doubling down on his absurd criticism and justification for not voting for Nikola Jokic to be the MVP of the NBA, claiming he's been very calculated and measured in his statements and that Jokic doesn't deserve to be the NBA MVP because of his poor defense. Really? All right. Not to be forgotten, Jones left X in the wake of Trump's election victory, and it appears he feels macho enough again to rattle off these absurd remarks. Let's hear. I understand the zealousness of certain fan bases. That's why they call it fan. Okay. It's a fanatic. They're going to think that everything you say that isn't for your team is hate. I agree with that. I do. I've experienced that. If you don't love on my team, you're a hater. You're the biggest hater out there, Dakich, because you don't love my team. Heard that for years. That part is very true. I get it, Jones said. I don't take it to heart because I've always felt that I was very measured and calculated in a lot of my statements. Let me ask you a question. Who's he talking to? Seriously. I mean, is there an audience? I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. But who's he talking to right now? I don't have the answer to that. I honestly don't. I think he's just talking. Like, maybe he's being interviewed, but I don't think the statements, measured or not, have been, calculated or anything. I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know that anybody is running to interview this dude. If you're telling me this, and I know it's that because I've spoken to coaches and players, and if I saw that this guy is not a great defender, and I know that to be true because players and coaches have told me that, I see with my own eyes, okay, that's an alternative universe for everyone out there. I'm good with that. What he's saying is he's smarter than you. What he's saying is he talks to coaches. He talks to people, and you don't. And if that is true, and if that is something that we can all get down with, then good for him. I don't have any problem with that. That's kind of how I always felt. I understand that fans want you to love their team, their guy, their coach. And when you don't, oh, man, you're a hater. You're a hater. Can't stand your stuff. You're the worst. You don't love my team. I get it. Now, sometimes guys lie. I don't know whether Mark is or not. I don't know him to be that. But I got to tell you, who's he talking to? Like, I don't know. Name me a great defender in the modern-day NBA. This is the thing that I've said. The NBA is the best players, the best athletes in the world, playing at the highest level we've ever seen, and given more freedom. We're more freedom in their game. In fact, the great Ralph Sampson came out and said, hell, I'd average 20 and 30 in the modern NBA. Now, I don't think Jones was very measured in his statements about the police shooting him. I know Mark wasn't very measured in that and other statements. And I love the fact that he is talking about this because name me a great offensive player in the NBA that is also a great defender. Our guy Halliburton is not. And I love Halliburton. James Harden, no. LeBron, when he wants to be, but you know what? There are so many things now with LeBron at 40 years old that you're like, yeah, no. Yeah, I just don't know. So if you're going to say so-and-so isn't the MVP because he's not a great defender, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a great player. I got to know him. Great dude. Love him. But he ain't a great defender because it's incredibly difficult in the modern NBA to be a great defender. It just is. You can't hand check. You can't move. So anyway, that argument doesn't really wash with me. Good for Mark Jones standing up for himself. Good for him. All right, enjoying the show? Yeah, you are. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on our new YouTube channel. Now, very simple, youtube.com. There it is right there. Somebody's got my name, I guess, so we had to go with Don't At Me with Dan Dakich. Subscribe now. Starting to get pretty good. They're starting to get a lot of you on there. Starting to pump up, as they say. I'm too old to know all that stuff, but I do know this. This is going to be the biggest channel out there. I just don't know what to do. You know, the news came down yesterday. My daughter's sending me texts. The world is upside down because Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. There are very few things in this world I care nothing about, and this is one. But we must talk about it because you are talking about the billionaire singer. She's the most famous entertainer in music on the planet. Shocked people on Tuesday when she announced her engagement to Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. You're going to see the couple and the screenshot here in a minute. There you go. There it is. God bless you. All right. Now, look, I think it's awesome. I hope they do get married. Remember, just because somebody says they're getting engaged, I don't know. There are books in Vegas, and this is the cynical world we live in. There are books in Vegas that say, divorce by 2027. I'm not participating in that. I'm wondering, are they ever going to be married in the first place? I wonder how long it took to figure out this shot right here. Travis, you're going to have to wear the blue. I want your hair cut this way. I'm going to wear this dress. We're going to be around these flowers in this thing. Here we go. And I don't blame him because every move Taylor Swift makes, it's news. She's the new Michael Jackson. And by the way, if you get to Chicago and you want to see a great show, the MJ, the musical, the Michael Jackson is incredible. Man, what talent on that stage. But I digress. I'm just telling you, this picture, this right here, cost hundreds of thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of dollars, and took days, if not months, weeks, whatever, to plan. Yeah. The ring is $500,000. Nick F. asked, well, what does the ring cost that you give at the ceremony? About $250. The rock, the big one, the engagement ring, that's the one that turns heads. Better not wear that in too many neighborhoods, including mine. Back in the day, somebody cut your finger off and take your damn ring. Next thing you know, it'll be down at Jack's Pawn Shop. Need Jack, see Jack. 7th and Broadway, Gary, Indiana. We used to go in there and see Jack, see what he had. But anyway, I'm just touched. They asked me, there it is, your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married. There you go. My English teacher in college was hot as D's nuts. My gym teacher was a traditional guy. We called him Scratch and Itch, two of them. They were always down there doing stuff. I don't know what they were doing, but they were doing it. Anyway, what would you get this lucky couple, this lovely couple, as a wedding gift? I'm not good at it. I'm not going to lie. If I was close enough to the two of them, I would get them some type of picture of the two of them. Some kind of spontaneous picture, put it in a frame and give it to them. But I'm Serbian. I'm Serbian and I'm Polish. Serbian and Polish, we give cash. Fill an envelope, $200, put it in the box. That's what we would do. Of course we would. That's what you do. They got that box at the wedding. Hey, where's the box? That's a fake. Hey, where do I put the cash? They had to get a couple $100 from me, maybe $250. You know, that's probably it. Anyway, I wonder if they'll have shots of Schlevo there. I wonder if they'll be doing the hokey pokey. I wonder if they'll be doing the chicken dance. What's the wedding going to be like? Is a network, see, OutKick ought to bid on it right now. Somebody get a hold of Fox and Clay and tell them we need to bid. It'll be me and Clay and Armando up in the booth, and Armando will cover the football, Clay will cover the legal, and I'll cover the pageantry. And we'll do it on air live. Yeah, be the biggest event ever. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but Guinness World Book of Records, most people watching a live podcast was the New Heights podcast with Taylor Swift. Pretty good. All right. Will Taylor make Travis sign a prenup? Here's what I would do. Yo, you take your money, I'll take my money. Anything we buy together, let's split it in half. You cool? Yeah. Go. That'd be it. Or it's going to be somebody put today, the prenup is going to have more pages in any book Travis Kelce ever read. I did think that was pretty clever. Davey, bring it in here. What would you get the happy couple for a damn wedding gift? Are you okay today? Are you distracted today? Is this too much? Is it too much, Davey? Too much, these two getting engaged. I can't wrap my mind around it.
Dan, I'm actually glad they're getting married just because we can stop talking about it. We're finally going to hit that point to where I think it will be out of the public sphere until the ultimate divorce happens. I have no idea what I would get them. I'm very cheap when it comes to wedding. I'm generally just I'll get you a gift card kind of guy. So with that being the case, I don't know what to get a billionaire and a multimillionaire. This isn't something that's ever happened to me in my life.
I would give him cash. Give him a nice sweater. My dad told me when I got divorced, he goes, hey, lose some weight, get a nice sweater. You'll be okay. I'm like, all right. I might get him a nice sweater. Just something like that. How big? You're a lawyer type. How big would the prenup be?
I don't think it needs to be that big of a prenup. I would just make sure Travis signs one. I mean, when you talk about the difference in wealth, it's pretty substantial. And I think he even understands, like, listen, I'm marrying the most famous person on the planet who is a billionaire. There's going to be certain things to where I realize I'm at a detriment when it comes to this. I'm going to sign it and just move on from there.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, like if Kelce, they got $100 million, right? They got $100 million for their podcasts on top of the salary. Let's say he's splitting that $100 million 3 ways. That's 33. Maybe his wife's involved. I don't know. You got taxes. You're making about $15 million off that podcast. Good for you, man. Seriously, what a life, though. Unbelievable. All right, I want to get to something real quick, Davey. Well, I got you. Cracker Barrel is going back to the old guy next to the barrel, the old founder. I think they were in a no-win situation because they let that look-alike to the Budweiser lady, that same white lady, I swear to God, same white lady with the glasses acting cooler than all of us, made supposedly an $800 million mistake. That's what is being reported. Davey is going back, which they did today at Cracker Barrel. Is that, I don't know, caving? Is that smart business? I think everybody should be fired. Where are you at with them going back to the old logo?
Dan, I would say it's both. It's caving and it is smart business. When you look at the demographic for the people that are going to Cracker Barrel, listen, it's generally older people that aren't exactly happy with change. So why would you go and change the one thing that makes this store an old-timey feel to where it's like people go back to, it reminds me of when I was younger. Cracker Barrel smartly caved, and they're still going to take a little bit of a hit for it, but at least they're going to get that business back that they were definitely going to lose by going away and choosing the new logo.
A lot of people think, well, you know what? We're tired of the woke. I saw a thing on Twitter that showed how different businesses, including Taco Bell and others, they're streamlining, and all these stores are starting to look alike. Do you think that was it? They were just trying to do what a bunch of others have done and streamline it? Or do you think it was deeper than that? Do you think it was more, I don't know, woke or I don't know what it was. But why do you think they wanted to change in the first place?
I think their numbers had taken a hit and they felt they needed to do a rebrand. They just did not expect the backlash they were going to get from it. When you look at how a lot of these restaurants have tried to modernize, Cracker Barrel probably thought, you know what, we need to do the same thing. Hopefully that can generate some new business, get us some new customers. The people that are coming to Cracker Barrel before this move, they're going to continue to come, and that obviously changed, and the backlash just hit them like it did Bud Light.
So you think they were just trying to modernize? There wasn't a deeper meaning here to getting rid of the old guy on the barrel?
I don't think so. I mean, the headquarters for Cracker Barrel is based right outside of Nashville in Lebanon, Tennessee. I know people that have worked in that building. It's not something to where, I mean, they probably hired an outside advertising firm to make this move happen, and it's just they just completely missed. It was a bad decision. It backfired, and now they've at least smartly decided, you know what, we screwed up. We're going to own our mistake, move forward. But yeah, it was just a terrible, terrible business decision.
Yeah, I always say this, and I'm always questioned on it. You got to know. You got to know, there are certain things in coaching that I always said you can't make that mistake. There's some mistakes you can make, but you can't make that mistake. You can change the chicken fried steak at Cracker Barrel. Okay, you took a swing. You got a new recipe. But you can't make the mistake that they made, in my opinion, where you're out there and all of a sudden you've got $100 million, $800 million, whatever it is, and you've lost market cap, and now even employees are showing how shitty the food is being prepared there. That's a mistake you can't make. You got to have smart people around you. And to make that mistake has got to tell me there are going to be some people fired. This may not happen today or tomorrow, but it's going to happen eventually. There are certain things that you just simply cannot do to cost your company that type of money. And that was one of them. So we'll wait and we'll see what happens moving forward. The NCAA and Venmo. This is a big deal. Remember the quarterback down at Oklahoma? Hey, gambling is why he paid off a Venmo. All right. It includes a dedicated hotline now for athletes to report abuse or harassment. It has enhanced education on account security and stronger monitoring measures. Venmo security team will also track social media activity and game-related events, such as last-second missed field goals. This often leads to spikes in negative reaction. All right. I mean, look, I guess. I always thought as a player I signed up for people to crush my soul if I didn't play well as part of the price of admission, but maybe it's not. It's a really unique situation, they're saying. Senior PayPal Vice President David Schutzman said. It's a really unique situation, interesting population. How do we let them operate in a way where they can feel like any other college kid but also have those enhanced measures? Well, you can't, because now, in the age that we're in, they're not just any other college kids. They're paid employees. Big money is involved. So they're not the guy that goes out and takes out $200,000 in student loans to get a 4 or 5 year education. They're just simply not. They're not the same. So don't try to act like they are the same. It sounds good, but they're not the same kind of guys. I hope, let's see, any other college, I hope in a lot of ways this serves as a blueprint for us to reach out to other social media platforms. What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? You know, come to my social media platform. It's every day somebody calls me a derogatory, sexist, homophobic, racist slur. Every day I get it. Every day. Somebody's going to beat my ass on this. So what? Charlie Baker, the president of the NCAA, the harassment we are seeing across various online platforms is unacceptable. I agree with that. And we need fans to do better. That ain't happening. We applaud Venmo for taking action, and we need more social media companies and online platforms to do the same. Several states have passed laws to crack down on this behavior to protect student athletes, and we hope more do the same because stopping this abuse requires actions on multiple fronts. He's right. He's not wrong here. They do need social media platforms to police themselves, and it is unacceptable, and it does have to happen if you're going to protect student athletes. If you're going to protect them, it does have to happen on multiple fronts. As a coach, I'd be scared to death. I would be. I don't need at all my players threatened. Now, one of the things that I always did as a coach, and I think people should continue, and I know they do in most places, you got to show the consequences of gambling. You must. I know we're talking about two different things here. I know this isn't the same, but you got to show your players the consequences of gambling and giving into gambling. You know, somebody's pressuring you. Somebody's saying, look, this is easy, blah, blah. You got to show players how easy it is to get caught. How your phone acts as a GPS for this, how algorithms and different things that gambling companies have can quickly find you. The Alabama baseball coach calling a buddy in Cincinnati. That thing got snapped up and he got fired in 5 minutes. Got to teach people this because none of us, myself included, before that Alabama thing, I had no idea it was so easy to track who you're talking to, where they're going to make bets, how much they're betting. Never did. I figured, hey, I'm just an indiscriminate guy walking into a casino. You got to do that. I haven't heard anybody talking about that. I wish they would. Again, multiple fronts. Look, you're not stopping it. I'm sorry. You're just not. You are not stopping any of this. You're not. But you got to try. Because there's always crazy people out there, but you got to try. There's always insane morons out there. You got to try. There's always greedy bastards out there, but you got to try. You got to try. And you got to talk about it, and you got to put it out there. My Venmo's suspended for some reason. I don't know. I've been trying to get it back. I don't know why the hell it's suspended. I tried yesterday, and they said, well, your account is already in use by another person. Well, yeah, my wife. Anyway, I have no idea. Has Micah Parsons' time with the Cowboys finally come to an end? The feud between the Cowboys star and owner/GM/ crazy man Jerry Jones has continued to sour. The Cowboys open the NFL season in just 1 week like everybody else does. Many are questioning whether Parsons will miss the entire season as the drama in Cowboy land unfolds. Pro Football Hall of Famer Darrelle Revis Island fame, he's calling on the NFLPA to defend the players within the organization. It's worth noting Revis is a candidate to become the new executive director of the NFLPA. And Revis is a really smart dude. Here's what he had to say. As players, after every game, we don't get a choice. We're put in front of the media, held accountable, win or lose, missed tackle or game-saving play, doesn't matter. We have to answer. It's part of the job. That's why it's unacceptable to see our union leadership avoid that same responsibility now. My question last week about a recent ESPN article remains unanswered. And now Jerry Jones feels comfortable publicly humiliating our union. He's trying to go around agents to talk and deal with and negotiate with Micah Parsons. I don't know if filing a grievance is necessarily the right battle at this moment. Since the fine to him under the CBA amounts to pennies, but doing nothing is not an option. Here's more from Revis. At the very least, the NFLPA should be saying it doesn't condone what Jerry's doing, that all options are on the table, and reminding players that if ownership ever tries to deal with them directly while representing, they should contact their agent and the union immediately. Bigger issue here is respect, according to Revis. Jerry's actions show that owners have no problem taking advantage of us, and when our union fails to respond, it sends a message that they'll be able to do the same in the next CBA negotiations if the current leadership remains in place. Every player, past, present, and future, deserves a union they can trust and protect and support them. Jerry Jones is going to do what Jerry Jones wants. Jerry Jones is, he has become, in his mind, I don't know if this is true or not, but he's become, in his mind, bigger than the NFL. He has. I mean, you can bitch, whine, and moan, but in Jerry Jones's mind, he is bigger than any player. He is bigger than any agent. He is bigger than any sanction or fine that can come down on him. And he is thumbing his nose at the NFLPA. He is. Now, I go back a long time to what Pat McAfee used to say. First day of free agency in the NBA, when guys are signing these $300, $500, $700 million contracts, McAfee said, yo, football union, be more like the basketball union. He was talking about salary structure. But for years and years and years, people have one way or the other in the NFL complained about their union. This just happens to be the latest, and Revis is not wrong. If you're going to have structure in place for how to negotiate a contract between an owner, general manager, a team official, and players, then that structure has to be honored. It's a negotiated structure. It's supposed to be done with agents. It takes a while to hammer out a collective bargaining agreement. Every word in that agreement is looked at, is parsed. Well, all of a sudden now, if you're just avoiding it, that's disrespectful to the agreement. And if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm saying, screw you. I'll negotiate, but I'm going to negotiate the right way with respect to other players in our union. We'll see what happens. But I like the fact that Darrelle Revis, I like it. I like that Darrelle Revis is standing up. Hire the guy. Make him the president. All right, this always drove me batshit crazy. It always did. Look, I get it. People are mad. Donald Trump, evil. His wife, by proxy, evil. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, shut up. All right. But it always drove me mad because Melania Trump is the hottest woman to ever sit in the First Lady's chair, and it ain't close. I mean, everybody's some hags. I mean, let's be honest. And then when a lot of them open their mouth, I'm thinking about Hillary Clinton here, there's some real hags. But Melania Trump is beautiful. She's smart. She's sexy. She speaks 5 languages. She's always put together. Why wouldn't she be on the cover of every effing magazine? Hell, I don't get it. She should be, without question. But we don't want it. Nope. After the new boss of Vanity Fair, a very popular women's magazine, floated the idea of the First Lady, Melania Trump, gracing the cover of the magazine, people lost their mind. People lost their mind. The guy's been met with an uproar and threats by his own workforce. Now, I keep hearing liberals are the most tolerant of us all. They're full of shit. I mean, damn. If I am Vanity Fair, here's what I do. I do exactly what's happening with Fox, Big Noon Kickoff, and Dave Portnoy. I promote the shit out of this. I promote the hell out of this. I promote the hell out of the fact that I'm firing workplace people because they're too stupid to work for me, and I'm putting the hottest First Lady ever in a great outfit on the cover of my magazine and doing an in-depth interview with them, and I'm telling the women that don't want her on the cover of that magazine to suck it. Literally, go suck it. That's what I'm doing. Now, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you want to give in, but not me, baby. I'm telling those working ladies, those old hags, out. I'll find new people. People always want to work at a Vanity Fair and Abercrombie and Fitch. They always want to work at Cosmo. It's cool. It's hip. It's Sex in the City. Man, but, so here's what they said. I will walk out the MFing door, and half my staff will follow me. Don't let the door hit you in the ass, Vanity Fair editor. We're not going to normalize this despot and his wife. We're just not going to do it. We're going to stand for what is right. If I have to work bagging groceries at Trader Joe's, I'll do it. Yeah. If Guiducci puts Melania on the cover, half of the editorial staff will walk out. I guarantee it. Here's what I'm doing. I had players walk out on me one time. I did. What I do, I handed them all transfer papers. Said, you got to go. Is it Bowling Green, my first year? Here you go. No. You guys want to lose your job at Vanity Fair? You do you. You know how many young, smart, brilliant women are dying to work at Vanity Fair? It's not like you're casting for MJ the Musical where there's only a certain amount of people that can play Michael Jackson. Editor of a freaking magazine. 8 bazillion women and dudes can do that. What's wrong with you? Elaine Bennis did that in Seinfeld. Hey, ladies, tell your story walking and don't let the door hit you in the ass. Of course, Melania Trump took the high road. That's what she does. Look, I've been there on the covers, on the cover of Vogue, on the covers of many magazines before. We have so many other important things to do than be on the cover of any magazine. I think that life would not change for anybody if I'm on the cover. Duh. She's absolutely right. Sounds like Vanity has some serious TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Got some nut jobs in the ranks. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Anybody as a boss that threatens me with leaving at a place like that, I'm telling you, get the hell out of here. You know how many guys line up to do my job? Hey, Clay, if you do this, I'm out of here. Hey, goodbye, Dan. That's how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am. I think I'm uber talented enough that they could never replace me. Oh, please. Fat, bald, with a big nose. Shh. But anyway, at Vanity Fair, I hope they fire every one of them. I do. I think it's crap. She's a beautiful woman, woman's magazine, interesting woman, smart woman, president's wife. It's a no-brainer. We'll see what happens. Hey, we'll be right back. We got a monster today. Can't wait. Thanks for being here. By the way, go to our new YouTube page, please. youtube.com/@Don'tAtMeWithDan Dakich. Starting to get a number of people on that bad boy. Let's continue to grow that thing. See, it's all one word, no apostrophe, no A sign. Be right back.
This fall, you're not just watching the biggest game in college football, you're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27th, Athens.
OutKick's giving one lucky fan and a guest a VIP treatment. This is your shot to punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course.
We're also hooking up 10 more fans with OutKick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the OutKick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit OutKick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. OutKick.com/sweepstakes.
Does anybody, is he going to have to stroke a check? Is anything like that happen as far as messing up anybody's houses in here?
He didn't. I did not hear any glass break. I did hear him say, "Please don't watch my shot. Don't look at that shot." But he did well.
Landon, what did you think of the overall experience?
With all these live professionals and live golfers out here, their games didn't seem to impress me when I was caddying for Dan. I mean, he's easily the best golfer here at Chapman Hills. I mean, he's a great guy.
We're here with Dan's golf coach, Lee.
Yes.
How was today?
Up and down. I'm going to say up and down. I think first 9, Dan played really well. He did. And then got a little shaky towards the end there. Putting was way off. He's usually a better putter. Putting was way off. But you know what? Great day. A lot of good people. Had fun. And I have to say, as soon as I didn't have to be his caddy anymore, he may have started playing better.
I will say, the live experience, it seemed like every 3 or 4 holes there was a bar set up. Do you think once we kind of got to the bars, that played a pretty big impact as far as Dan's game?
It may have. I'm not gonna confirm that one way or the other.
We're here with the man of the hour, Dan Dakich. You just finished 18 holes. Dan, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I tell you what, it makes you feel like a big guy. You're inside the ropes. You're playing like a set-up championship course. I hit the ball good, couldn't putt, but what a great time. My wife was there, Landon was there, great pros. I mean, what a great day. Thanks to everybody at OutKick for letting me do it, getting me in this thing. Yeah, I don't know. The overestimation of I got tired. I'm not going to lie, Davey. I don't know, the bars and all that. I did take a shot. Actually, I took 2 shots because my back started hurting. Here's what happens when you get old. I told my wife, I go, man, I'm getting stiff as I walk. I don't know. And I think when I went in the hot box, there was a bathroom that was in the sun, and I went in it, and I came out, and I was drenched with sweat. I'm like, oh, don't go in there, fellas. But thanks for coming out. That was a great day, and I got to lose my stomach. The stomach, it's got to go. Stomach has got to go. Too much stomach.
Nah, Dan, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. And, following around, you had some great interviews. We're going to have some more content coming out later. I know we got an interview we're about to play, but it was a good time. Yeah, it's the way in which Lee answered that question I thought was great because I had to go away for a bit, so I didn't know if things got off the rails while Ryan and I were away while y'all were, I guess, playing. I think it was around holes 1 through 5.
Started out really well in the back, and I did shank two. Like, I shanked one on the front, and then on 8, I shanked one off the tee. But the beauty is we were playing a shambles, so you got to, play the best drive. But I think I needed to start drinking before the round. I think that was more important. I think, oh, man, I was telling Lee, I go, damn. And you should have seen, by the time we were done, Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't forget Fox is proud to announce Fox One. That's right. It's a new streaming service called Fox One. On Fox One, you can stream all your favorite live sports, including the NFL, college football, and NASCAR, MLB postseason, so much more. Of course, the NFL season right around the corner. And I'll be catching all the big games on Fox One. Download the Fox One app on your favorite device or your smart TV today. Fox One. We live for live. Streaming now. There you go. We live for live. I read that pretty good. Normally, I don't. All right, have we finally reached the point? Have we finally reached the point where AI is being used by coaches to call plays during a football game? I don't know. I'm wondering if right now I don't use AI, but I'm wondering, like the phone and all the other stuff, eventually it incorporates my life when I'm not even paying attention. I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, right now there's currently an influx of AI technology along the sidelines of the NFL after the league agreed to a deal with Microsoft last week. The league agrees to deals with everybody. Like, there are so many deals that this league has. It's awesome. In a release put out recently, Microsoft pointed towards their new system that could filter plays while also programming certain instances where a team might face a decision based on the down and distance. Microsoft announced that the NFL sideline viewing system for every club has been upgraded with more than 2,500 Microsoft Super Copilot Plus PCs to empower 32 clubs, 1,800 players, and more than 1,000 coaches and club football staff with real-time game data analysis tools. Boy, would I be all over this as a coach. Seriously, I'd have like 6 nerds, 6 dudes like big balls, just on this for every play, every time, every situation. I would. Coaches and players have access to a new feature built with GitHub Copilot to filter plays based on criteria as down and distance, scoring plays, penalties, to quickly analyze formations, decipher coverages, and make more data-driven and strategic decisions. And while this might be something NFL coaches could use moving forward, there are plenty of college coaches still skeptical. You can add the great Dan Lenning of Oregon to that list. I am not using ChatGPT on my sideline to decide what we're going to run. I'd be interested in what kind of information that provides, but I don't know if that's made it to us. I mean, AI is something that's going to continue to grow. It'll continue to be part of the game, probably as much as anything from a scouting standpoint, but it's probably still in the early days for us at our level. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't know. Is he right? I don't know. What I do think is this, though. I would want every piece of information that I could get. Every piece. Not some, not maybe, all of it. I want all of it. I want every advantage that I can get. I want to know what lineups, what formations work the most. I want to know every single thing. I would. See how it worked for Michigan? See how it worked when Connor Stallions gave Harbaugh every piece of information that he could possibly get? Worked out pretty good. Saved a man's career. Made him a hero. Yeah. I don't know. All right, Davey. Let's do it. Let's do it. You ready? Let's rock and roll. There you go. It's what the hell? Oh, boy. No. Oh, boy, it gets worse. Comes another guy. Davey, is that two guys or is that the snowmobile and the guy?
Is that coming through, Dan? Dan, you got me?
Is that a snowmobile and the guy? Yeah.
Yeah. That was the snowmobile, and then the guy tried to, I guess, go down and stop it, and at that point he basically became a human ragdoll.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Is today? Oh, crap. All right. That's unbelievable. Next. Holy cow.
Barely anyone talks about. I just seal everything into jars with water, and then while the dishes run, dinner slow cooks for 3 hours. It's super easy and saves so much in energy compared to the stove.
No, no. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Will not be doing it. No. Are you watching? That's like Kramer making a salad in the shower. I am not doing that. Are you doing that? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, Dan, you're about to move. I mean, you could test out the new dishwasher by cooking chicken and noodles in it.
No chance. No. I mean, it may be great. It's probably great, and it's probably smart. But it's not. Yes, thank you. It's absolutely not. No. No. God, no. Next. No. What's this clown doing? Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, it looks good. Doesn't look bad.
Oh my God. Are you good?
Oh, man, you knew. Oh, man, show that again. I want to cringe again. Oh, man.
Oh my God. Are you good?
Oh, my God. You're right. Holy hell. I don't like it. Next. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
Dan, that happened in France this week.
What is this? What happened?
There's apparently a forest fire in France, and they were trying to get the water to then pour on it, but whoever was driving the helicopter crashed it into the lake.
So that was a big bucket they were trying to do, right? They were trying to fill the bucket with the lake water. Oh, my God. I assume nobody was hurt. Isn't that what we do here? Like nobody's dead? Is that the deal?
Yeah, there weren't any casualties in this situation, but obviously a lot of damage done. And, I mean, and you lose an entire helicopter doing that.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Where'd you say that was, France?
Yes. Happened earlier. Well, it might have been last weekend.
According to Nick, everybody made it out unharmed. All right. Wow. You're right, though. There goes your helicopter. It's gone. Good. Bye. Honest to God. Goodbye. Next.
Oh, no. How did you have this idea?
Just didn't have a truck. I think I found a couch I want over here.
All right, show me.
I mean, that thing's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's leather, too.
You mind holding that in real quick? That's perfect, and this is it.
Taking it with you?
I'll take it with me.
Where's your vehicle?
Right up front. What's going on, gents? I'll pull up here for you. Oh yeah, this should work just fine.
How did you have this idea?
I've got a door, not to a bike.
That ain't going anywhere, man. That ain't going nowhere. Oh no! That's fine. She's a little testy.
You got it. Yeah, just make it out of here. You can do it.
RossCreations.com!
What do you think? Think he made it home?
He didn't even make it down the street, Dan. I love a good prank, though, don't you?
There's no way. No way. No way did he make that. All right, good for them, though. Hey, I like a little bit of ingenuity. I like a little bit of, hey, we're going to try this. No one else has tried, but no good. Next.
That's all we got, Dan. Have you ever rode a moped?
Oh, yeah, I had one. Yeah, we called it a motorcycle. Yeah, mine went 60. I put it together. True story. My wife had one, so I ordered one. Guy came in a truck. He said, hey, Dan, did you get a DUI? I said, no, what are you talking about? He goes, well, usually when people that are adult men order one of these, it's because they got a DUI, and you can ride these, even when it says you can't drive. I go, no. So I literally put it together, and we just sold, a matter of fact. Yeah, it would go 60. I loved it. I called it a motorcycle. You know, people called it a scooter. Have you had one?
No, I haven't. I've ridden one before, but that's a good idea about the DUI, Dan. I'll let Jay Cutler know about that.
Yeah, Jay Cutler's going to jail for 4 days for not only DUI, right, but he tried to pay the guy off, right? He tried to pay the guy off that caught him or something. I don't know. And
yes,
he's going for 4 days.
There was a wreck, and I don't know the extent of the damage, Dan, but the report was he offered him $2,000. And I just keep thinking of the scene in Superbad when the one guy hits Jonah Hill's character in his car, and he's like, dude, I can pay you off. And he's only got $7 in his pocket. It's like, $7? What are you, 6?
Yeah, I tried $2,000. That's what it was. I thought I saw 200. All right, when we come back, we got the great Armando Salguero. Does Micah Parsons ever play for the Cowboys? Was there any surprises? There was a surprise cut here in Indy. Juju Brents was a second-round pick out of Kansas State, kid from Indianapolis. He got cut as a corner. Be right back. I got a call to my doctor. I forgot an appointment yesterday, and that's not good. We'll be right back.
This fall, you're not just watching the biggest game in college football. You're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27, Athens.
OutKick's giving one lucky fan and a guest a VIP treatment. This is your shot to punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course.
We're also hooking up 10 more fans with OutKick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the OutKick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit OutKick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. OutKick.com/sweepstakes.
Does anybody, is he going to have to stroke a check? Has anything like that happen as far as messing up anybody's houses in here?
He didn't. I did not hear any glass break. I did hear him say, please don't watch my shot. Don't look at that shot. But, he did well.
Landon, what did you think of the overall experience?
With all these live professionals and live golfers out here, their games didn't seem to impress me when I was caddying for Dan. I mean, he's easily the best golfer here at Chapman Hills. I mean, he's a great guy.
We're here with Dan's golf coach, Lee.
Yes.
How was today?
Up and down. I'm going to say up and down. I think first 9, Dan played really well. He did. And then got a little shaky towards the end there. Putting was way off. He's usually a better putter. Putting was way off. But you know what? Great day. A lot of good people. Had fun. And I have to say, as soon as I didn't have to be his caddy anymore, he may have started playing better.
I will say, the live experience, it seemed like every 3 or 4 holes there was a bar set up. Do you think once we kind of got to the bars, that played a pretty big impact as far as Dan's game?
It may have. I'm not gonna confirm that one way or the other.
We're here with the man of the hour, Dan Dakich. You just finished 18 holes. Dan, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I tell you what, it makes you feel like a big guy. You're inside the ropes. You're playing like a set-up championship course. I hit the ball good, couldn't putt, but what a great time. My wife was there. Landon was there. Great pros. I mean, what a great day. Thanks to everybody at OutKick for letting me do it, getting me in this thing. Yeah, I don't know. The overestimation of I got tired. I'm not going to lie, Davey. I don't know, the bars and all that. I did take a shot. Actually, I took 2 shots because my back started hurting. You know, here's what happens when you get old. I told my wife, I go, man, I'm getting stiff as I walk. Like, I don't know. And I think when I went in the hot box, there was a bathroom that was in the sun, and I went in it, and I came out, and I was drenched with sweat. I'm like, oh, don't go in there, fellas. But thanks for coming out. That was a great day, and I got to lose my stomach. The stomach, it's got to go. Stomach has got to go. Too much stomach.
Nah, Dan, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun, and following around. You had some great interviews. We're going to have some more content coming out later. I know we got an interview we're about to play, but it was a good time. Yeah, it's the way in which Lee answered that question I thought was great because I had to go away for a bit, so I didn't know if things got off the rails while Ryan and I were away while y'all were, I guess, playing. I think it was around holes 1 through 5.
Started out really well in the back, and I did shank 2. Like, I shanked 1 on the front, and and then on 8, I shanked 1 off the tee. But the beauty is we were playing a shambles, so you got to, play the best drive. But I think I needed to start drinking before the round. I think that was more important. I think, oh, man, I was telling Lee, I go, damn. And you should have seen, by the time we were done, Great. Armando Salguero joins us. 7,622 years of covering the NFL. Senior writer for OutKick at Armando, SALGUERO. Nice enough to join us. I'm fascinated by this Jerry Jones stuff. Is Micah Parsons, number 1, going to play? Is Jerry Jones violating the collective bargaining agreement? Darrelle Revis is putting stuff out. Can you walk me through this mess?
Yes, as I get ready to start my 7,623rd year covering the NFL. Moses tried to get into the NFL, but it didn't exist at the time. He and I talked, and it didn't go well. So, look, the Micah Parsons thing. Everybody expects the Hail Mary at the end. The fact of the matter is the Dallas Cowboys will board a plane on next Wednesday, a week from now, to go to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles. And I would be surprised if that Thursday night in Philadelphia, Micah Parsons is signed to a new contract. And the reason I'd be surprised is there just haven't been any discussions. People say, well, what about Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott, a couple of years ago, was in camp, as is Micah Parsons, but he wasn't holding in or holding out. He was practicing, and his team was talking, his representatives were talking to the Cowboys. Micah Parsons' representative hasn't talked to the Cowboys since, March. It's been a long time. There hasn't been conversations. and both sides are dug in. So it would take an incredible, I would say, thawing, glasnost to make this work out. And there's also the idea that he'll get traded. Jerry Jones would get destroyed in Dallas if he traded Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons might be their best player. So why would he do that? It's really an untenable situation at this point, and it's really bad when Micah Parsons is going to the final preseason game and taking a nap on the sideline on a training table. It's a bad look all around. It's a bad look outwardly, and it's a bad look inwardly as well.
It's a terrible look. I got to tell you, I'm not sure I've ever seen that. I don't know. Maybe I have. But a healthy player, even sitting on a training table is weird. Sleeping on a training table is egregious, is it not? I mean, what would that conversation between Brian Schottenheimer and him look like?
Well, I mean, I wasn't the coach. You're the coach. If I am your player and I'm on the bench taking a nap while you're coaching your team, even in a scrimmage or a jamboree or whatever, what would you say to me?
Well, here's the thing that I've said. I would hope that my discipline, whatever, wouldn't allow that to happen. Like, I would hope that would never be a thought in a player's mind. That's kind of how I set it up. But, you know, I would hate that I would have to go through the parameters of a players' association about finding somebody. I don't really know. I from a college perspective, it would never happen again. His ass would be running and all that kind of stuff. But as an NFL guy, I don't know what you can do, you know, in the parameters of all the agreements that they have between teams, coaches, players, discipline. I know in a college, his ass would be up at 5 a.m. You want to sleep? Shoot, you can sleep. Okay, but you're going to be doing this. It wouldn't be good. And I would probably, in this day and age, I would probably be fired the next day for how I handled that.
Right. So Brian Schottenheimer had a career chat with Micah Parsons. It lasted reportedly an hour. I don't know, man. It doesn't take that long to say, Micah, sleeping on the training table, laying down on the training table, bad. Don't do that. Don't sully the integrity of our sideline. Don't sully the integrity of our ball club. It's bad. And it's disrespectful is what it is. It's disrespectful to the players who are out on the field trying to really, at that point in the preseason, they were trying to earn a roster spot. Those guys on the field were desperate people trying to make a case for having a job. And Micah Parsons' reaction to them speaks to disrespect of that process. So, look, Micah Parsons' trade request stands. There's an unconfirmed report out there that the Green Bay Packers are interested. I would assume that if the Dallas Cowboys actually made Micah Parsons available, there would be maybe 20 teams interested, not just the Green Bay Packers. So there is that. But I don't believe that that's what Jerry Jones wants. He's dug into, I have an agreement with Micah Parsons, and that's it. And it's a $200 million plus agreement. And if he doesn't want to take that and wants to have the agent not take that, then I still have a contract with him this year. And I have the ability next year to franchise tag him if I want. So he needs to play. And it's hard to argue against that one. It really is, Dan, because a contract, I know that we all laugh at the idea of a contract in the NFL. Teams, break contracts all the time. Players want extensions 2 years out from the end of their contract. But in this case, when everybody's dug in, a contract is a contract.
I'm with you. Like, I always think these things, particularly when a guy is in a contract already with years on it, I always think they end up playing. But do you think – so you don't think Parsons plays next week?
I would not be surprised if he does not play it next week at all. And there's a history precedent for it. You know, there's a Netflix series streaming right now on the Cowboys. The Super Bowl champion Cowboys had arguably their best player out of contract in 1993, and that was Emmitt Smith. And they didn't sign him in the preseason. They didn't sign him in the offseason. They did not sign him the first game or the second game. He missed games. And I believe, and it wasn't until Jerry Jones was under such pressure as to being 0-2 as the defending Super Bowl champions that he said, maybe I better improve my offer and sign Emmitt Smith. And that's when it happened.
It's unbelievable. No, it's incredible to me. Anything surprise you at the cut deadline yesterday? Anything shock you?
You know, the funniest moment of the cut deadline to me yesterday was the New England Patriots. They waived offensive lineman Cole Strange. And why is that a big deal? Well, Cole Strange was a first-round draft pick in 2022 of the New England Patriots, of Bill Belichick. And that 2022 New England Patriots Bill Belichick draft class, I think there was like 9 players in that draft class, 8 players. Only one of them remains on the New England Patriots. And what's funny is Cole Strange was the number 29 overall pick. You'll remember famously that the Los Angeles Rams were having a press conference on draft day 2022, and Cole Strange was drafted number 29 overall. And Sean McVay literally started guffawing at the idea of Cole Strange being drafted in the first round. And he actually told reporters, we just wasted our time doing a lot of work and studying of Cole Strange because we thought we had a chance to get him with the 104th overall pick. So the Rams had him as a third-round pick. Belichick picked him as a first-round pick, and right now he's out of a job.
Ours was Juju Brents, the second-rounder, cornerback who's been hurt. But, hey, look. What are you going to do? How bad are the Saints? Rattler's the quarterback. Is this a mess?
Look, it was a mess when they were told Derek Carr had injured his shoulder. And their response to Derek Carr has injured his shoulder as well. Let's see how this goes. Let's wait this out and see if we can't make this work somehow. Well, guess what? Derek Carr's response to that and his recipe for success was, I'm retiring. and now the New Orleans Saints are like, okay, well, Spencer Rattler, ladies and gentlemen. Spencer Rattler, God bless him. You know, I hope he has a great career in the NFL. He was 0-6 as a starter for the Saints last year. Oh, is 0-6 good? No, 0-6 is not good. So they're really excited, according to Coach Kellen Moore, about Spencer Rattler. Also, obviously, Tyler Shuck is behind him. My guess is that Tyler Shuck, a rookie second-rounder, they're seasoning him a little bit more, hoping that he comes around and develops a little bit more. And before the end of the season, we're going to see Tyler Shuck. And if there isn't a whole lot of, I would say, success there, which I don't expect, next year they're going to be quarterback shopping again.
The over-under is 4.5 wins. Seems high.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Look, they don't exactly play in an awesome division outside of the Tampa Bay Bucks, and they always give the Bucks a good game because their defense is prideful. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the New Orleans Saints have a pretty high draft pick next year.
Where were you when you found out that Kelce and Swift are getting married? Do you know where you were?
Yeah. I was writing about the NFL, and that ain't it. No. So seriously, Dan, I feel bad about this whole thing because on the one hand, I was being told and expected for Travis Kelce to put on this huge rally this year and go out, on top. He worked out in the offseason. He got himself in the best shape of his life. This is likely his last ride through the NFL. And he wanted to go out guns a-blazing, playing great. And then I found out, like everybody else did, that he's getting engaged to Taylor Swift. And I would say this to you. Travis Kelce doesn't handle distractions all that well. By his own admission, he did an interview where he was talking about how last year and the last couple of years, as he saw the end of his career getting closer, he switched focuses in the offseason to his, quote, acting and his post-career. And that cost him, I would say, focus on his actual preparation for the season. And he credits the fact that he has declined the last 2 seasons on the distraction, on the lack of focus. So now this offseason, as we get ready to start, the regular season next week, he's getting engaged. You think that's not a distraction? You don't think that's on his mind or has been? So he's doing all this focusing on finishing strong, but he's getting engaged to a woman that has 100 million followers on social media? Okay, yeah, I can see Travis Kelce being really focused for the final go around in his career. Sure, that's going to happen.
I said the same thing in a video yesterday. I said, you know what? Eventually everybody, dynasties crumble, blah, 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 blah. But if you didn't handle those distractions, you ain't handling this distraction, in my opinion. And he admitted that, which is it. I know that love is love and, all that stuff. But is it weird that, because I got to believe these people contrive everything. Is it weird or is it smart for entertainers that they announced it a week before the NFL season starts? Is that smart business, Armando?
I don't know. I mean, they announced it. I guess they announced it when Travis Kelce, plopped down on one knee and gave her, the big rock. I would say, the timing was on him, and he picked this timing, which is, again, curious because focus on the NFL season. A week out, you're going to get engaged. Look, I would say to you this: getting engaged is not the same as getting married, and so right. I don't know the timing of the nuptials. I don't know what their plans is. I don't know if Travis Kelce was getting engaged and he doesn't think about marriage for another 3 years. I don't know how that works. I do know that the Kansas City Chiefs are expecting Travis Kelce to be fully engaged about their season because they need him, and eventually Rashee Rice is going to be suspended. And if he is not engaged to them and their priorities, it's not going to go well. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm not endorsing the whole timing of the engagement, and I have no idea how that's going to affect Travis Kelce. But my guess is not great.
My friend of mine who works in TV at ESPN asked me, we were talking about this, so I'll ask you, do you think that a network will televise it?
That's a great question because I'm sure that people would watch. I'm sure that people would watch, and I wonder who would get paid. As I think about it, another reason for this being interesting is there's a prenup, is there not? Or there will be. Do prenups get just written up between a loving couple, husband and future wife, or wife and future husband? Or do lawyers get involved at these heights? Oh, I think lawyers probably get involved on both sides. Is that potential for distraction? Oh, yeah. That probably is potential for distraction. Is it a negotiation? Yeah, no, it's a negotiation. What are we talking about here, man? He's supposed to be thinking about, outlet routes and stuff like that, and he's going to be hiring lawyers to argue his prenup case. I don't know. I don't know, Dan.
I'm just saying, to me anyway, I'm just saying that if I said OutKick, let's go. Let's have the way. They just broke records, didn't they? Like all-time records for podcasts, live viewers of a podcast with Swift and Kelce. I would think somebody's going to put that wedding on like, what was it, Prince Charles and Diana back in the 90s or whatever. I don't know. I just can see it happening. I can. And you'll be there to cover it. God bless you. Good for you, man. Good for you.
And how'd that one turn out, by the way?
Oh, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Not great. Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you. Oh, man, he's right. I'm wondering, are they even going to get married? Like, I know that's a big deal. Again, another thing that it's hard for me to really care about. Here's what I care about, more sanity. More sanity on our airlines is a big deal to me. I don't really care who I sit next to, but I won't lie to you. When I am on a flight, because I am not small, I don't like to see some big old dude or some big old woman coming down the aisle sitting next to me. I don't need that action in my life. I don't need it at all. Well, Southwest Airlines is restoring sanity. They are. It's another win for common sense. Southwest Airlines has updated its plus-size passenger rules and now forces passengers to purchase multiple seats if you're a big fat ass. That's right. If you're too fat to fit in your own, I don't need your rolls on me. I don't need your sweaty ass, big fat J.P. Pritzker self all over me. On my arm, on my shoulder, on my waist. I don't need it. I don't want it. I can't have it. That's right. And now, if you're too fat to sit in it, you got to purchase a couple seats. Now, during the woke, insane years of Biden, Southwest Airlines was accused of booting able-bodied passengers from their assigned seats, which was insane to me, and moving them to other parts of the plane so a fat ass could have two seats. No. That ends now. That's right. Now, that is gone. That's over. OVA. Over. As you might expect, the radical defenders of the unhealthy living habits they're coming for Southwest. By the way, I just booked a flight on Southwest. Yeah, I did. Oh, Corinne Fay, Big Undies newsletter. I definitely feel like crying. It'll make my life a lot harder. We're talking about the difference between spending $400 versus $800, even more. Let me give you something. It ain't that hard. You're making everybody else's life harder. You are. You're making everybody else's life harder, and we don't need that in our life. We don't have to have it. We don't. And we won't. And look, big undies become small undies, and it won't be a problem. Yeah, you're going to have to spend more, but we got to spend to sit next to you like this while your fat is all over. I don't need it. I won't have it. While they seem to be addressing the inconvenience of the new policy is going to cause obese passengers, they are glaringly ignoring the inconveniences thrust upon fit, able-bodied passengers that have to deal riding alongside plus-size passengers. Another win for common sense. Perhaps the funniest statement came from some random guy named Jason Vaughn, an Orlando-based travel agent who compared the policy shift to that of Cracker Barrel's rebrand. Southwest has been a new only beacon of hope for many fat people who otherwise wouldn't have been flying. Now that beacon has gone out. I think it's going to make the flying experience worse for everyone. They have no idea who their customer is. They have no identity left. The customer's me. I don't know. Hey, so Southwest was the airline of the big fat ass? That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no damn sense to me. Hey, look, we are the airline of fat people always. Hey, if you are, then put a fat section. Make the seats double wides. Charge a little more. Don't let us, the people that actually pay attention, even though I am fat, the people that pay attention to their weight be suffering because somebody has to have 72 ding-dongs, Twinkies, and ho-hos. No. Congrats, Southwest Airlines. You are no longer known as the fat person airline. We salute you. I don't know what this cup is, and I don't care. It's probably something bad. Don't know. Have you ever had to completely readjust your schedule because some birds decided to nest on your property? No, but I've seen 8 in a row. Bald eagles out on our lake. I have, in a row. It was cool. It was very, very cool. Well, you have, if you're in Minnesota and you're in Minnesota high school, according to the Associated Press, the folks at Apple Valley High School have had to readjust their fall football and soccer because some ospreys have decided that, despite the many trees in a land of 10,000 lakes, that set up a nest in one of the stadium's lights. Birds are protected under both state and federal law, so there's nothing the school can really do about it. They can't remove the nest. They can't just turn on the lights unless they want the heat from those puppies to roast up some osprey. Now the school is having to move around games since night games are off the table. Huh. They asked me, Dan, what's the biggest inconvenience an animal has caused me? Well, you know that. I mean, the hawk. The Geist hawk that hit me in the head 3 different times, hit my wife twice, my daughter, and the neighborhood over 25 times. Cut me right here. Threw a shovel at it. We had a hawk that got deranged somehow and was attacking us. First time it hit was Thanksgiving. My mother-in-law went outside upstairs to have a smoke. She came back in, said something hit me. I got a baseball bat, turned on the lights. Didn't think anything of it. A couple days later, about 7 in the morning, I had a tight stocking cap on. You know, wool cap. I was getting ready, Lee and I, to go to Ohio State to watch Andrew's game. Here came out of nowhere, something hit me. Back of the head, knocked the stocking cap. It went flying. I looked, and there was this hawk flying away. It got my wife. It got my daughter. It got little kids in the neighborhood. Adults were literally mowing their grass, including me, with a helmet on. When you walked outside, you went like this, and you walked backwards in circles. True story. All this is true because the freaking hawk, we learned, comes from behind. Now, hawks are protected. I'm not allowed to say what happened to that hawk, but let's put it this way. It ain't around no more. Everybody on our cul-de-sac, I don't know what happened, but I know some have guns. I don't know. But it hadn't been hitting anybody in about 4 or 5 years. That is the big. It hit me one time. I was pushing a wheelbarrow. I had a shovel in a hand. Next thing you know, I heard screech, turned, and this hawk with his talons. It hit me. MF'd it, threw a shovel at it. Saw it going away, missed it with the shovel. Went inside. My daughter's like, Dad, you're bleeding. I go, crap. So I went to the Ready Care over here to get a shot. Hawks. I don't like it. Hey, just in time for football, Costco has set the internet on fire with one of its latest product launches, a full beer tower capsule of holding up 6 pints and contains an interior cooler. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Here it is. There it is. Beer tower. Beverage and beer tower. Got to have the interior cooler. I went to a bar called The Stretch right down the street from Wrigley. And they had a beer tower, and it was warm. It's terrible. Don't do it. Mark Zinno, betting analyst, next.
This fall,
You're not just watching the biggest game in college football.
you're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27, Athens.
OutKick's giving one lucky fan and a guest a VIP treatment.
This is your shot.
To punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course.
We're also hooking up 10 more fans with OutKick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the OutKick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit outkick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. OutKick.com/sweepstakes.
Does anybody, is he going to have to stroke a check? Is anything like that happen as far as messing up anybody's houses in here?
He didn't. I did not hear any glass break. I did hear him say, "Please don't watch my shot. Don't look at that shot." But he did well.
Landon, what did you think of the overall experience?
With all these live professionals and live golfers out here, their games didn't seem to impress me when I was caddying for Dan. I mean, he's easily the best golfer here at Chapman Hills. I mean, he's a great guy.
We're here with Dan's golf coach, Lee.
Yes.
How was today?
Up and down. I'm going to say up and down. I think first 9, Dan played really well. He did. And then got a little shaky towards the end there. Putting was way off. He's usually a better putter. Putting was way off. But you know what? Great day. A lot of good people. Had fun. And I have to say, as soon as I didn't have to be his caddy anymore, he may have started playing better.
I will say, the live experience, it seemed like every 3 or 4 holes there was a bar set up. Do you think once we kind of got to the bars, that played a pretty big impact as far as Dan's game?
It may have. I'm not gonna confirm that one way or the other.
We're here with the man of the hour, Dan Dakich. You just finished 18 holes. Dan, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I tell you what, it makes you feel like a big guy. You're inside the ropes. You're playing like a set-up championship course. I hit the ball good, couldn't putt, but what a great time. My wife was there. Landon was there. Great pros. I mean, what a great day. Thanks to everybody at OutKick for letting me do it, getting me in this thing. Yeah, I don't know. The overestimation of I got tired. I'm not going to lie, Davey. I don't know, the bars and all that. I did take a shot. Actually, I took 2 shots because my back started hurting. Here's what happens when you get old. I told my wife, I go, man, I'm getting stiff as I walk. I don't know. And I think when I went in the hot box, there was a bathroom that was in the sun, and I went in it, and I came out, and I was drenched with sweat. I'm like, oh, don't go in there, fellas. But thanks for coming out. That was a great day, and I got to lose my stomach. The stomach, it's got to go. Stomach has got to go. Too much stomach.
Nah, Dan, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun, and following around. You had some great interviews. We're going to have some more content coming out later. I know we got an interview we're about to play, but it was a good time. Yeah, it's the way in which Lee answered that question I thought was great because I had to go away for a bit, so I didn't know if things got off the rails while Ryan and I were away while y'all were, I guess, playing. I think it was around holes 1 through 5.
Started out really well in the back, and I did shank 2. I shanked 1 on the front, and and then on 8, I shanked 1 off the tee. But the beauty is we were playing a shambles, so you got to, play the best drive. But I think I needed to start drinking before the round. I think that was more important. I think, oh, man, I was telling Lee, I go, damn. And you should have seen, by the time we were done, radio host, betting analyst, it's football time, at Mark Zinno. Nice enough to join us. All right, man. You and I were talking off air. You did not poo-poo my over bet of 7.5 on the Colts. I'm taking it, and I'm taking it for too much money. I am.
I don't think it's a bad bet. Why? Anytime that you are going to evaluate a win total for a team, as long as we're not sitting here talking 10.5, double-digit numbers, right? Because that team's just supposed to be good. If you're taking them, they beat everybody. But anything that's like 8.5 or lower, you have to look at their division record. What are they going to do in their division? Because that's ultimately going to decide whether they can go over or not. If the Colts can go 4-2 in this division, which I think they can, they should be able to get over 7.5. Right, that's half the wins you need right there. You got to find 4 of the wins on the schedule, which should not be all that difficult, considering that there's still 4 more home games left at least. Right, if they play 3 division home games, you have at least 4 more home games left, and you got to find wins there. And if you can get them, then you should be good. Look, the Colts roster is not bad. I mean, here's Shane Steichen's problem. He has a good roster, and they don't win enough because they get mediocre quarterback play. That's a problem. So you're asking Danny Dimes, or as I like to call him, Danny 10 pennies, because that equals a dime too. That's what I told my kids to call him when he was with the Giants. But nonetheless, you're asking him to have a somewhat adequate season. And the best thing you can do, Danny Dimes' best performance with the Giants was hand off to Saquon left, hand off to Saquon right. So guess what? Just change out Saquon for Jonathan Taylor. And as long as Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, then you have a team here with a good enough defense that's going to keep themselves in games. As long as he's not throwing back-breaking picks, Colts should be able to get over this number.
I agree, man. I agree. I totally agree. What are you liking this weekend? We start it up tomorrow. What are you liking?
College football, I have my eyes on a couple of things on Thursday. I am going to lay 22.5 with Houston at home against Stephen F. Austin. This is a much improved Houston team. I think they returned 15 starters from last year. This should be a nice tune-up game for them. I look at a team like Wisconsin, who is trying to get back to their roots on defense. They play Miami of Ohio. The game total for this here, Dan, is 39.5. I'm going to get a little exotic. I would take Miami, Ohio's team total under in the first half. If Wisconsin has any chance at covering this number, they've got to beat up on them early. They've got to keep them off the scoreboard because their offense isn't prolific enough to score. I don't want to lay 17.5 here with Whiskey, but I'm willing to trust their defense at home. Sort of the same game script of Buffalo, Minnesota, first half under. Again, a low total at 43.5 for a college game. Minnesota's offense doesn't impress me, but their defense does. They're home. They're getting an FCS team trying to play up to a different level. It's a really good spot here for the for the Minnesota Golden Gophers to show out at home for their squad there. And then look to Friday night. I tell you, this is one of my best bets of the week. Shop around for a number. One website I saw is offering 27.5. Georgia Tech team total over 27.5. Colorado's defense is still bad. And guess what they don't have on their defense this year? Travis Hunter. Their defense is going to be really bad. Georgia Tech is going to be one of the more underrated teams in the country. I think this team probably ends up ranked at the end of the year, 22nd, 23rd. Brent Key has really transformed this program. Haynes King is quietly going to have a very unassuming year. A guy that was discarded at A&M as a quarterback there for not succeeding. He gets this Georgia Tech offense rolling. They should easily be able to get over 27.5 for Georgia Tech in this game against Colorado on Friday night.
You're looking at, there's a couple, obviously, Texas, Ohio State. You looking at anything there?
I mean, look, I would play the first half under, right? Look at the situation. You have a brand new starting quarterback at Ohio State, and you have Arch Manning, who's likely going to have a certain amount of jitters walking into the horseshoe for his first start, in which he's already been crowned as the Heisman Trophy winner and the prohibitive number 1 overall pick in the NFL. You have 2 defenses that were top 5 in the country last year. They didn't get worse. Both those defenses got really good. I think, again, this is a game where both of these coaches realize the impact that it will have on their season and do not want to blink first, do not want to make a mistake first, probably not going to put a ton of pressure on their quarterbacks early to make plays. Look, I think Steve Sarkisian, the coach of Texas, has a ton of faith in Arch. But if you try to take some shots early and you miss or you get picked off, you're giving a whole lot of momentum on the road to a team that's really good and fundamentally sound and well coached in one of the toughest places to play in college football. I expect both these offenses to start very slow, and I think we get a first half under between these two teams.
Hey, Notre Dame, new quarterback, C.J. Carr, Lloyd Carr's grandson, new quarterback at Miami with Carson Beck, who everybody knows from Georgia. What are your thoughts on that Sunday night affair? I think it's Sunday, or maybe it's Monday. I don't know.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's the Labor Day weekend provides us with a lot of weird college games as far as time started. But It's going to be a very interesting game. Like, I would just tell you, just bet Notre Dame to make the playoff, even if it's at minus 150, because there's no way they're not, because there's not more than 2 losses on their schedule. That's the reality of it, right? They have 3 tough games. They'll win one of them. That's about it. So without more than 2 losses, they'll always be in the college football playoff, which further cements the idea that Notre Dame is never going to join a conference, because they don't have to, because they'll go at least 10-2 every year and make the college football playoff. So that said, could this be one of their losses? Maybe. A lot of this depends on Carson Beck and what he really is. Look, Georgia's defense covers up a lot of warts. Georgia's offensive line and their running game cover up a lot of warts for quarterbacks who probably aren't really that great of quarterbacks. Stetson Bennett won a national title behind Georgia on a defense, Dan, that averaged giving up 6.7 points per game and scored a touchdown routinely on their own. So theoretically, the offense didn't need to score a single point, and the defense could win them a whole game. So you don't have to be very good at quarterback in that scenario. And it's sort of the same thing for Carson Beck when he was here at Georgia. That's not going to be the case at Miami with Mario Cristobal and this Miami offense and this Miami team. Miami's good. They're not Georgia good. And so you're asking him to be able to do a whole lot that I don't know that he's going to be able to do. And that sort of, to me, is a real question mark. You go back to the Irish on the other side and you look at this team and what they have, especially in the backfield with Jeremiah Love. At quarterback, just give that dude the rock. Just give him the rock. Just make him the focal part of the offense and ask Miami to stop him for 4 quarters. And it's not really going to be all that difficult. They have some really good players at receiver. Tyler Buckner, should help a young quarterback out. Clearly, they have good tight end play across the board. I lean Notre Dame here, but it's not an easy spot.
No, it's not. And, Miami's going to get back to being Miami. Some point you got to win these kind of games. I mean, I look at it that Notre Dame has got the national championship game and all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to get back to being, Luther Campbell, all that happy horse bleep, you got to win some of these. Brian Kelly with a big one against Dabo, baby. Oh, there you are. Who wins? Kelly or Dabo?
Brian Kelly is an excellent coach. It's really hard for me to bet against him because he is really good. That said, even Clemson being ranked number 4, I don't know if we really have understood how good Clemson is going to be this year. Like, if I was going to tell you to make a Heisman bet, give it to Cade Klubnik right now. That's where I would put my money. Can't put it on Arch Manning. But Cade Klubnik is going to requite himself as one of the better quarterbacks in the country this year. I mean, remember, this is a young man who has stayed at college for 4 years now, right? That matters. That's important. He's going to be a well-developed, well-seasoned quarterback, and he can help carry this team. Clemson is going to be very tough defensively. There's no doubt about it. They have great players in the running game. They will pound the rock as much as they can, and this is a very complete team. Clemson is the side here and where I would go given this matchup. But, LSU is not a bad team. But LSU has to figure – the way LSU wins this game is Garrett Nussmeier goes off. That's really what it boils down to. Like, they can't get pressure on him, and Nussmeier goes off. But other than that, this is a spot here for LSU. They're going to have to play a nearly flawless game on the road in a really tough place to play in a night game against a well-coached defensive team. Yeah, Clemson's the side.
Yeah, I think Clemson's going to have one hell of a year. You got any futures, NFL, college that you're digging? You mentioned Klubnik as the Heisman guy.
Yeah, let's get to some NFL futures that are going to make your audience sort of roll their eyes and maybe pop out of their head in certain cases. One, I took the New York Giants over 4.5 wins. That number's long gone. When the line first came out, one book opened it at 3.5, which is ludicrous. I missed the 3.5, grabbed the 4.5. The Giants should have 5 wins on their schedule. They're going to be better than you think. And oh, by the way, Giants plus 6.5 is best bet of week 1 in the NFL. They may actually win that game in Washington. Their defense is good enough to be able to shock somebody. That said, I have bet the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC North. Took a flyer on them. If the Ravens take a step back, I think that's the second best team in the division. I think Aaron Rodgers over 3,200 and a half passing yards. I don't know why we live in this world where we think Matt Stafford is going to be healthy enough to play 17 games and Aaron Rodgers isn't. Like, Matt Stafford had an epidural. Unless you're giving birth to a child, you shouldn't be having an epidural. Like, it's not a routine thing. The Rams wanted to, it's normal. Of course, yeah, the guy had a horse needle stuck in his spine. That's not normal unless you're giving birth. So there's a world where Matt Stafford doesn't play all 17 games and Aaron Rodgers does. Aaron Rodgers has to average 189 passing yards per game to go over this number. It's as long as he's healthy. He's a year removed from the Achilles injury. He's in a better offense now than he was last year, where he threw for 3,800 yards. This is a gift. This number should be 3,600. This is a gift at 3,200. Take Aaron Rodgers over 3,200 and a half passing yards. I would like the Commanders under 9.5 wins. I think this team is overvalued. We do this thing, Dan, where all we remember about the Commanders is that they were in the NFC Championship game. That is true. You know what else is also true? They got gifted a trip there by the Lions, who turned the ball over 5 times at home, and they were not better than the Lions at all. The Commanders' defense also gave up like 40 points in that game. It's just that the Commanders scored like 45. So we have this revisionist history of how good Washington really is. Look, I think they're going to be better, and their quarterback is great. But for them to win 10 games in back-to-back years, look what happened to C.J. Stroud in year 2. They lit the world on fire in year 1. Now we've got a whole year of tape. They take a little bit step back in regression. I think they're an overvalued team. Commanders under 9.5 wins. And you want another one that's going to shock everybody. Give me the Raiders over 6.5 wins. You know how many times Pete Carroll as an NFL head coach has won less than 7 games in a season?
Never.
Once. His first year as head coach of the Jets, and that was it. Once. Other than that, he wins 7 games every year. The adults are finally back in the room with the Raiders. This is going to be a very well-coached team. Again, let's go back to their division record. If they win at least 2 division games, and I think they might win 3, they are going over this number. But all they got to do is win 2. I think they can upset the Chiefs. I think they're going to surprise some people with how fundamentally sound they are, and I think they're really good. And then give me the Seattle Seahawks over their win total. That may be a top 5 defense in the league this year. Their quarterback play doesn't have to be great. That's going to be a really, really good defense. They're going to be a boring watch. Bet a lot of Seattle unders because their offense is going to be really gross and slow and ugly, but their defense is going to be really, really good.
All right, brother. That's great stuff. That's why we bring him on here, ladies and gentlemen. He gives you the goods. Mark, thanks, man. Look forward to having you on during the football season. Thanks, my friend. There he goes. Mark Zinno, give him a follow on X at MarkZinno. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.